Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Shoot the Defence. Another Premier League roundup. Well, the season hasn't officially started yet, but there's other things to discuss. There's transfers and there's Community Shield, which took place yesterday. And behold, here we go. I'm Stel. Steve's here. Rod's here. Sagi's here. Gentlemen, how are we all doing?
Good, Stel. You okay?
Tired, man. Tired. I've got bags, like proper bags under my eyes now. Like before, they weren't that bad, but now they're whatever. Still alive. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for asking, Steve. At least someone cares. Someone cares about my feelings.
Yeah, we get worse when the season starts as well. So
what?
The Cypriot season, once that gets started, you're still going to be down in the dumps, aren't you?
No. Listen, I've still got another 12 days. I've still got another 12 days before it starts.
No, well, there you go. Right. 12 days.
But 12 days got a European game on Thursday, though. But anyway, I'm not going to go into that.
No,
Rhodri, how is one?
No rocking any boats this year. You know, let's keep it nice and civil.
Ah, man. Do you know what? I didn't tell you lot what happened, did I? I'll tell you lot afterwards. It was just fucking mental. Absolutely fucking mental. Anyway, Rhodri, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, I'm good. No boats rocking. Sweet.
No boats.
No
boats. Please, no boats.
Not today, anyway. Not this week.
No. Sag, how are you? I guess you're very, very happy after yesterday's performance.
Yeah. I thought they played well. Lucky goal, but I'm very happy with how it's going so far. Very happy with his coming.
Are you wearing long sleeve? Are you wearing a jacket or a hoodie?
Yeah. I went and got fish and chips earlier. I ate about okay. It's like a wet top because the weather's been appalling. It's not even a summer, is it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say because I've only worn my hoodie once so far. I haven't put the heating on yet, but...
Oh, mate, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
London weather, mate. I guess all right in Manchester. They always get sun in Manchester. They're fine.
Yeah, it's been all right today. I've been playing golf. It's sweet today.
Steve shaking his head. No. No. Don't get no sun up here. Fucking hell. Anyway, gentlemen, let's talk about the Community Shield. Arsenal winning that. Psychological warfare, Sag. Psychological.
Well,
sorry, man. I'm sorry. That's fucking bullshit, isn't it? Come on.
Well, nice. It's always good winning a trophy, and winning a trophy together is, as part of that team at the beginning of the season is always a good way to kick it off. So, though people are claiming it's a Mickey Mouse trophy, it's still, better than the Audi Cup, should we say?
But is it better than the Carabao Cup?
No, of course not.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to double check because I'm seeing some Arsenal fans on social media.
No. I mean,
it's his first major trophy, and I'm like,
no, well, not really. It's a hard thing to place the Community Shield, isn't it? It's not really a trophy, but it's still a competition, really. It's I don't know really how to explain it, but always worth winning. Always nice winning stuff. So you take that all day.
And you're in it by default as well. Cheeky. Has he frozen, or is that just his face that he's pulling right now? Steve. How'd you feel, man?
I felt disappointed in the 100th minute, which is obviously going to be a talking point everywhere. With every football match, the way the game is changing. Some are going to benefit from it. Some are going to suffer from it. And then we've all got to decide whether it's better for the game. This 100, 110, 120 minutes. There was even 20 minutes extra time at a game over the weekend. It obviously helped Arsenal at the weekend in the Charity Shield. Psychological warfare, I don't believe in at all because I don't believe it'll affect City. But I'm happy to concede that whilst it's not psychological warfare, it will give Arsenal a massive boost, whether it's just their training week, whether it's their belief they can win at Wembley again, whether they can beat Pep Gvardiol in Manchester City. It'll give them a boost, but I don't think City will care about it too much.
Rod, we've seen how we've seen how clubs win the Community Shield and go on to win nothing that actual season. There's you. Yeah, see? Steve cares about my well-being. I care about his. This is how it works, And he's too busy pissing about on his phone, not listening to a word I'm saying. Look at him.
Who's making these decisions? I want to know the names of who's making
What,
these
Steve
decisions.
sneezing?
No, I mean, of these rule changes. Who are these people that change these rules? Do we know who it is?
Well, I think we saw it in the World Cup, didn't we? I mean, the first time I saw it, one of the games went on 15 minutes extra, didn't they? At the end, and it's like, it's putting a lot more stress on. No, in the men's World Cup in the winter, it's been a lot more stress on the players and stuff like that. And you're asking them to play more games. I think Pep was quite right in what he said about who's consulting the players and about these changes and how it's going to affect them. I mean, he's going to have larger squads again. Obviously, more finance and stuff like that. So, hey.
I've seen a little piece of Rafa Varane talking about it, saying they was going into a meeting where they thought there'd be less game, but there's not. There's more games. He's just putting more stress on the bodies, more games, more intensity. Now they're going to be more minutes. So it's difficult for these players when you expect them to play at a high intensity,
but
high intensity game week in, week out. It's just impossible. And surely the bigger clubs will benefit from it because they've got bigger squads.
But Rod, you asked who makes a decision for this particular instance. It must be the Premier League, surely, who've made this decision, right? It must be sanctioned by them.
Well, I think it's come down from FIFA, hasn't it? Everything comes down from a higher level, doesn't it? And then they kind of roll it out into different competitions.
You would hope that it's just like when they're implementing a new rule, then you see it the first start of the season, like the first 4 to 6 weeks, and then people get onto it and calm down and stop whatever they're doing. This is just time wasting. If you look at some of the games from the times the ball's in play, it's like 52, 56, 58 minutes. So
you know what else has got to be considered? You know what else has got to be considered as well, lads? You know those older referees that we've laughed at, we've been annoyed at, we've hated at times, but the Mike Dean types, and they're all come to the end, the Lee Mason types. They've all come to the end and gone the other side of officiating now. And it's also the young guys who'll be more than happy to have extra exposure, extra cards, an extra 10 or 15 minutes at the end of every match. Whereas just like a football player, that old experienced wise head, well, those in terms of the referees, they've just gone the wrong side of the line and into retirement. So I'm not too sure that these young lads, these young men, these referees, know any different. They're actually just at the birth of it all.
I find it incredibly stupid how they're implementing these changes in the duration of games, but yet in pre-season, the Premier League are happy to have these exhibition games in the United States, because don't forget, a lot of these games like Brighton against Chelsea, Newcastle against Villa, they were in conjunction with Peacock or these other TV channels in the United States that have links with and deals with the Premier League. So the Premier League have sent them over as part of this TV deal, and the players are knackered. They're battering them.
I think you can. But I think you can hold that against all clubs, can't you? Really, because a lot of them send them off to far gone places for pre-season. I mean, I think Australia is probably the worst one, where a few teams have been in the Far East as well, and you come back and you come back and play your first game of the season. That's what Palace did last year when they came back a week before they played Arsenal. And then they played them on a 7 o'clock kickoff on a Friday, where it'd be in the middle of the morning for them. It's just, I don't think much planning's got much into pre-season preparation. It's more about the money now and exposure of the club rather than looking after the players' welfare.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We've got Dubul here. People are saying, we don't have any Liverpool fans on. Well, we've got one.
I've never said a word. I've never said a word, mate.
No, not you, but some viewers are, you don't have any Liverpool fans on. You're anti-Liverpool. Fuck off. So, Dubul here. We're just
there.
talking about the time extensions and how it's going to be affecting the players.
Oh,
What is your stance on this? Because I know Jurgen Klopp wasn't happy about various things in the past, even though he battered his players to death. But is Jurgen going to be fist pumping all that kind of stuff all over again?
I think it will make Jurgen, it depends what side of the bed he wakes up on certain times. Like some days he wants to crack jokes in the media, on the other days he's just like going off as if a reporter so much sneezes. But I think teams will get used to it. Maybe I want to see whether they're consistent with it, because they're going to start the season off. You're going to see a few games around 97 minutes to 100 minutes. It depends on whether they're consistent with it. If we get to Christmas and they still be consistent with it, we'll see. But I think it will make teams tighten up and not waste as much time on goal kicks, taking throw-ins, etc., and probably cut down some of the play acting and whatnot that goes on as well. Because I remember last season we played Newcastle, 1-1, and then they had players going down left, right, and centre. There was one where Nick Pope fell on the ground, and you could see him like looking towards the bench, even though he's meant to be injured on the floor. That time got added on, and then Fabio Carvalho got the winner for us in like the 7th minute of injury time or something like that. So I think though the players will get used to it and cut it down, but we could have some of those 12:30 kickoffs running into the 3 o'clock games, and that's what they don't want. What they don't want right about now. But you could see it. I remember when United beat Brighton a couple of seasons ago. There was a bag of time. Yeah, it wasn't COVID, because it wasn't any fans. There was a bag of time wasted in that, and some injuries as well. And then you lot got the penalty at the end. They blown the whistle because obviously the game had an opportunity to stop, and then obviously then Fernandes scored it. So we could the amount of time added on could be kind of mad, especially in the first couple of months. But I think I think once it gets to like Christmas, it will simmer down a bit. But we'll see. We'll see.
So I was told that Aaron Ramsdale, when Arsenal were winning in the first half, went down for 20 minutes and got treatment while the rest of the team went and got some instructions from Arteta. And he actually went down and had his contact lenses checked by the physio, and he doesn't even wear contact lenses. How true that is, I don't know.
Yeah, no, you know what? It's funny you do mention Newcastle, because there was accused of that a lot, weren't they, last season?
Last season, yeah.
Last season, because they accused of that against Arsenal when we played them at the Emirates as well.
Oh, what, the goal issue?
They slow down play a lot, don't they?
Players were going down, and
I think it winds the opponents up, and I guess it gives them an advantage.
It could be a bit of a bad one.
There you go. Well, look, before we move on, we haven't spoken about the Community Shield in much detail. Sag, several players making their debuts for Arsenal. Okay, competitive debuts anyway. We saw Kai Havertz up front. We saw Declan Rice. We saw Urian Timber. There are lots of changes in that first team lineup anyway. So do you expect Arteta to be rotating a lot this season?
Yeah, I think now we've got a lot bigger squad, a better squad to rotate with the more games that we're playing. And the 3 players that were mentioned, especially, all of them, I thought they played well. I thought Rice was very, very good in his defensive play, and the way he's breaking up stuff, especially what he's brought in for. Timber, I didn't really know much about him before he came in. Outstanding signing for us. And Havertz definitely surprised me up front, especially because we're looking for a different. Well, the fans have been asking for a different kind of profile up front, a bigger player who can hold the ball up, and I thought he did well in that aspect. So I believe there's a lot more to come from him. So I'm very happy with the way they played and the way they looked in that game, and the way it's kind of gelling together.
Yeah. And Steve, did you notice many differences in City? I know it's only one game, but did you notice any differences from last season?
Yeah, I did. I thought it took 2 players to cover Ilkay Gundogan's absence. A different style. He comes into the midfield and he plays, and then he runs into the penalty area, and he becomes, from a holding midfield player, he ends up as an attacking midfield player. He ends up as a forward. I think we missed that, and I think we covered it via selection. Obviously, De Bruyne didn't start. But Kovacic, I noticed, was having a lot of ball neat and tidy, but only really playing with the defenders in and around the centre circle next to Rhodri. And there may be some game time more this season for World Cup winner Alvarez, who's bound to score goals, and obviously is an out-and-out centre forward or number 10. But I do think there's got to be a give somewhere. You can only pick 10 outfield. De Bruyne will obviously come back in, but I thought they tried to cover the Gundogan absence via Alvarez and Kovacic. No, I just thought he was neat and tidy, and he'll have to do a lot more to thrill me if that's what as a supporter, if that's what he's going to become and do and improve us, because he just looks steady to me. But he's obviously leapfrogged Calvin Phillips immediately.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned Alvarez, possibly getting more games. Is he going in the FPL team, Steve?
Well, we can talk about that on a private.
Doesn't want to give no secrets. No secrets.
Ain't even started yet, mate. We're up for it. All right, so let's talk about Man United then. They signed Hojlund. Amrabat looks like he could be next. Rod, you said United need a striker. You mentioned Harry Kane being the guy. Do you still think there's a chance he could join now that United have got Hojlund?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, no, because maybe if they got rid of Martial, but it looks like they're going to keep him. You got Rashford who can play there. No, Sancho's been playing a lot there in pre-season as a false nine. So, no, the kid will need as many games as possible. Looks like strong, big and strong, quick. Just needs to get games and get used to playing with the team. If you bring someone like Harry Kane, that would stop his growth and his. Yeah, so I don't think so. So no, it looks a good signing. I just think people just need to be, not expect too much too soon, because he's still not the finished article. He's not, Erling Haaland. He's far beyond that yet. So, but he can get to that because he's big, he's strong, he's quick, both feet good in the air, can hold the ball up. So all the signs are there. So just to wait and see.
Double D knows about Italian football, don't you, mate?
Yeah, no, Rod's just pretty much summed it up there. If Ten Hag, because he played, Atalanta have come like my second Italian team in the last 6-7 years, but he scored a lot. There were substitute appearances as well, so if you just looked at the stats and didn't watch him, you'll think, only 9 league goals or whatever. But as Rod said, he's strong, can hold the ball up. He's scored 1 or 2 goals where he's powered from the centre circle and ran through the finish. So if Ten Hag can mould him into what he wants, it can work well, because you saw him try and play Weghorst in a certain role, and he linked up playing well and hustled and bustled, but he didn't deliver goals. Hojlund could deliver goals, still young, growing, and that if he's a quick learner, it could turn out to be a bargain in a few years. You know what I'm saying? As long as they get the service in, Shaw will hit him on set pieces, Dalot will hit him, Bruno's going to thread passes through. As long as they give him the service, he could do special things for United.
And what about Amrabat then? Because he had a great World Cup.
That's who I want us to buy. That's who I want.
I'll take him over McTominay. No disrespect to McTominay, but Amrabat is just a different level, man.
You lot have just rejected West Ham's double bid, haven't you, for Maguire and McTominay?
They're just playing games. You know how it works.
But no, Amrabat's very. I've been a fan of Amrabat since he was at Verona. Good player, and he was very good in the World Cup. But I actually thought Ohana, the other one in the midfield, I thought that he was slightly better in the World Cup, but he went to Marseille for peanuts. But yeah, Amrabat in there. United are making some decent signings. We'll see how it goes. If they adapt with the whole Champions League thing and whatnot. Same for Arsenal as well. But I like the signings that they're making. So.
Rod, if you're Maguire and McTominay, does West Ham sound like an interesting proposition for you? Obviously, they got European football this season.
Yes, 100%. Nice ground to play at. Suits them down to the ground. I think it's a bit cheap. They add 10 million to both, and then you probably get the right result. I mean, the right price. 30 million is still think a bit too low. 40 million is half price for Maguire, and 40 million for McTominay is a good sound deal. He's 22, 23, strong midfielder, box to box. Got experience in the Premier League. So yeah, I think it'd fit West Ham very well. Because West Ham sometimes, with United playing such a high line, it's difficult for Harry Maguire. But when you sat in there, you'd want Harry Maguire in there all day. You just head anything, tackle. He's strong. His positional sense is pretty good. So yeah, good move. If it turns out they do go.
Well,
Steve,
I think they've just signed Alvarez, haven't they, from Ajax, I believe.
He's good, Alvarez, man. Though we beat Ajax in both games in the Champions League last season, he was just clamping everyone in the midfield. He's a savage, man. But,
He's just gone to West Ham for 32, I think, supposedly.
Yeah, 35. Yeah, 30, I think it's like 32 and add-ons to 35. But that's a really good
so
side.
You get 40 and 40. You basically got 3 sound players there for one player. So
and they're trying to get Wood-Prowse as well.
Wow. Okay.
They had 20 million
now.
rejected.
But the West Ham situation's weird with the transfers. I mean, they was desperate to get the money in quick, and they've waited till the last minute. It's just bad management, isn't it? On transfers.
That bids in 20 million for Harry Maguire. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
come on. I know he's not been great for Man United, but still, England.
Well, that's what I mean. You're getting Championship players for 20 million, aren't you? It's
exactly.
Got to be realistic.
Testing the water. They're trying to see if they can do something. Well, they've just got the Skamaka money as well. And Vlasic is meant to be going to Reno for about 12 to 15 million. So they're probably going to make a couple. They're probably going to make at least 3 more, so maybe 4 signings before the window closes.
Yeah, well, they definitely need a striker though, for sure. Definitely need a striker. Can't rely on Antonio.
Yeah,
But Steve, if Maguire goes to West Ham, do you think David Moyes will tell him to watch DVDs of Jagielka?
No, that's a hell of a show. You might ask him to watch videos of David Moyes.
Oh wow!
He might actually ask him to watch videos of Scott McTominay playing better than him for Scotland at the back.
And that is the soundbite right there. Cut that up still immediately. What is there?
I was just end it there. It's brilliant.
I endorse what Rhodri said. Like Harry Maguire, if it's 20 million, England centre half probably would get 4 or 5 goals because they do rely on West Ham centre halves do score goals. He's absolutely West Ham Premier League, London Stadium all day. I know he's getting a rough ride here, but he's being well paid for it. He's had a good trip at Manchester United. He's West Ham all day.
Fair enough. And speaking of defenders, Gvardiol has joined Man City. Steve, we thought this was going to happen weeks ago. It didn't, but clearly it's done now. Left-footed centre-back, precisely what you guys need?
Well, no, because obviously Laporte has won silverware, lost his starting place if we're to pick our best team, but always comes in and obviously settles the back line up. We can possibly cover at left back, and Nathan Ake can always go back to left centre back where he's had matches in his career. But it feels like, without him actually playing for us yet, that the manager has decided that this is an upgrade, and I think possibly the team will benefit and maybe get 30 million for Laporte.
What was the situation with Laporte? Why don't he fancy him?
He's just not as good as Stones or Diaz, and he's not as good as Ake. So it's as ruthless as that. And you play the position side, Laporte's fine. He's no trouble. He's got good discipline. He doesn't let you down. He balances your team up. He can score with his left foot. He can score with his head. But I'll ask you straight. You've got a game to save your life. Are you picking him ahead of Stones or Diaz? Is any of the guys going to pick Laporte above Stones or Diaz? I personally wouldn't.
I'd take Laporte in a heartbeat because we're trying to get a left-footed centre back in, but City wouldn't sell to us. But I'd take him, man.
But would you pick him ahead of Stones or Diaz?
But no. I wouldn't take him ahead of Stones or Diaz because Diaz is But I'm not just saying from Liverpool perspective, but City, no, definitely, because Diaz has been just in there, a leader as well. And then Stones has cut out a lot of the mistakes that he used to make. And he's so comfortable on the ball. He's so vital to the way that City are playing. So no, for City team, no, but us not, I'd take him.
Yeah, so that's why he doesn't play. I don't believe he doesn't not fancy him because he's so elegant. He's a top world class international. He just isn't better than the other two.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering if there's anything on the line there, but
no, definitely
the way
not.
you described, yeah, okay,
Definitely not.
Fair enough. And D, a third Liverpool bid for Lavia has been rejected.
Yeah, 46 rejected.
Tell me what makes this player so special, because I haven't seen much of him. I'm not going to lie.
They're trying to extort us, though. I'm not even gassing, and I said this well before we wanted him. I said it from because Arsenal were one of the first teams to be interested after him going to Southampton. I don't know why these scouts are so lazy and they wait for these players to get bought by another club. It's like they're giving it the trial run. It's like, oh yeah, he's actually good. His performance against Chelsea, when he scored in it as well, I think it finished 1-1 at St Mary's earlier in the season, was one of the best centre midfield performances I saw in the Prem this season. He can tackle, intercept, he can dribble, he's got a shot on him and whatnot. But I want us to get experience, which is why I'm vexed about us not trying to get Alvarez, for example. They're talking Doucouré at Palace. He's like 20. I'm sorry, I think he's 23 now. They're saying 70 million. They're talking Fulham are saying 70 million for Paulinho.
I thought they wanted 90, didn't they?
Is it 90 now? Yeah, see, even worse.
Yeah, they wanted something ridiculous.
So we only have one midfielder in our team over the age of 24, and that's Thiago, who's injury prone. Outstanding, but injury prone. You get me? We need experience in there. You've lost your captain and your vice captain in the same window, and the people you're being linked with are babies. Lavia 19. We bid, but got rejected for Andre at Fluminense. He's meant to be like a regen Fabinho that can also slot into the centre half and whatnot. Where's the experience? You need someone to guide people. Gakpo came in January and settled well and played in this false nine role because of the fact that he was working with Fabinho. What midfielder is going to show these guys what to do? The reason I've jumped on even here late because I was watching our pre-season friendly with Darmstadt. The forward line looked outstanding, but the midfield, especially the defending, why are you continuing to persist with the high line? Teams are just playing one ball for the top and they're getting it behind. We're playing Chelsea on the opening day. They're going to slap us up if we did. So we need to buy someone and quick. It's all good taking 40 million for a 29-year-old Fabinho and taking the Henderson money, but you need to stop farting about and get the signings in because the season starts on Friday.
So who are your central midfield options right now? Who were the three that played today?
Today was Finn played almost as attacking midfielder today. Gakpo, it was Shabazai and McAllister. McAllister actually played as the 6 today.
All right, okay.
Just sat there and just like he made some good challenges, played the ball and whatnot. But I don't see that being. If we play like Luton or something, that can run in the Premier League. You know what I'm saying? But in the bigger game, you can't do that against Chelsea on open day. For what I've seen Chelsea, and Nkunku's injured now, but what I've seen for Chelsea in pre-season, they're just whipping it out. And Jackson, pace and whatnot. Mudryk is looking a bit better. That they'll beat us if we go in like that on Sunday. So we need to sort it out quickly. But yeah, it's Bansetic, who's only 19, Curtis Jones and Trent have also played as the holding midfielder in these pre-season games. Thiago. So yeah, Harvey Elliott can obviously play centre middle, can play out wide as well. So it's all young midfielders. Thiago is the only one over 24. It's all babies. So we needed 2 anyway with Henderson and Fabinho there. So now selling them, you've got to bring at least 1 in. You should really be looking at bringing 2 in.
No, for sure. I'm just trying to understand what kind of system Liverpool are going to play this season because they don't have a ball winner. Yeah. Fabinho was that guy. Even Henderson could do a lot of the running. Yeah. I don't know, Rod, Steve, Sag, can you think of any players that would suit this current Liverpool system that are not just available, but if there's anyone that they could pick to bring in? Because they look kind of weak in the middle of the park. No one? No. McTominay.
Two reasons why I'm not answering. One, I don't really know. And two, I don't really give a shit.
Okay.
Fucking Liverpool. I only get worse than last year.
Oh wow! now, Rod.
No, I'm only joking. Nah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because you've lost Henderson, who's been a big character there. Even James Milne as well. Big characters, experienced characters who can get them through games just by being in the dressing room sometimes. So it's a big miss. It's a big miss.
When you talk about it, you know, the Amarabat does make sense for Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be overly expensive either, and he does do a job. When I watched him, the first proper game I watched him was the the final game. I thought he played well in that game, and probably would suit how Liverpool play.
Yeah,
they need someone like that, energy and comfort on the ball.
Yeah.
Exactly, because we were getting overrun last season by teams who were nowhere near. We played Nottingham Forest and Yates. We getting run about from Yates and them, man. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying, what's is going on? But it's not even just on the pitch, though. It's like, do you remember they tried to introduce the winter break in the pandemic? See, in the 1920 season, we won the league. So then we drew with Shrewsbury. And the replay was scheduled in the winter break. So all the players went on their holidays anyway. And it was just the youth players. Milner was like the assistant manager for that game with Neil Critchley, you get me? That type of, it's the off the pitch things, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everyone pissed off on the holiday. He stayed
Difficult start. Chelsea, I've been impressed with Chelsea's pre-season when I've watched them.
They look decent. They're buying the geezers from Leeds, aren't they? Tyler Adams as well.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Even
20 million.
he could do something for us. England couldn't get near him in the World Cup. Him and McKinney were just rinsing England's midfield in that goalless draw. You get what I'm saying? So, see, there's so many people out there. They won't do it though because it's a championship player. We're going to get extorted and play over late on and pay over the money for someone. We'll probably be the mugs that paid the 90 million for Paulinho. We could have got him for about 20 from Sporting Lisbon last year. You get me?
But hold on. I mean, Chelsea are linked with Caicedo. Is there a chance that you guys might go in for him?
But then you're looking at the money that they didn't want to spend on Bellingham because you're going towards the 100 million region. You get me?
Wow.
Because our director, the one that came in for Edwards, his name's left me. He sorted out the McAllister deal before the World Cup. That's why we got him for 35 and add-ons. Otherwise, they would have been looking Sachado money. They would have been like, "What do you mean? This is a World Cup winner." Julian Ward, his name is Ward. That's the guy. He sorted out this deal from the middle of last season, like the minor details. So that's why we got it for so cheap. So anyone that wants to get Sachado now, because believe me, if Sachado wasn't being so overpriced, Arsenal probably would have got him before they got Rice.
Fair point.
You get what I'm saying? But I think Rice will be good for Arsenal. I think he'll be wicked for the dressing room as well. But it's the keeper situation. I don't get what Arsenal are doing there.
I like that.
Shall we talk about that? Shall we talk about that?
I do like that competition for places. I like that.
Yeah, I think Ramsdale's in trouble because I like that keeper.
I thought Chelsea would have got Real rather than Sanchez, to be honest.
Chelsea's transfer strategy is bemusing. I can't see what they're trying to do. I don't understand where they're going, what they're doing.
They're playing football. They're playing average age.
Yeah, they're dropping the average age, but then selling all the players that are coming through. All the players that come through the system who would probably love the club and you probably get a lot more for and pay cheaper wages for, and they're selling them all.
Yeah, you know what? I see where you're coming from, but I've got a couple of mates who've been supporting Chelsea from years, from the Kerry Dixon days. And at the beginning of last season, they were saying to me, the squad has gone stale. You know, you look at the players they haven't. It's like with Spurs. They've got, I think, 9 players in that squad at Spurs now were in the Champions League final squad. Still, you know. And I think Chelsea, they needed a massive reshuffle. Okay, the goalkeeper.
Surely you've got to keep the quality on it, haven't you? And if they've got to the Champions League final, they're quality players.
Yeah.
But what quality would you say they had then to...
Depends which ones specifically you're talking about, really.
Well, yeah, the keeper's horrendous, isn't he? Kepa. I mean, he's a second keeper, really, isn't he? And then you've bought a second keeper, and he's second keeper at Brighton anyway. I mean, I do think he's good, but you know, if you're a big club, you don't go and buy. I don't know. You buy a keeper who's decent.
Well, I'll tell you what, their lineup. Let me find it. So their lineup against City back in 2021 was Mendy in goal. I think he's quality. Azpilicueta, all right. I think it was time for him to go. Thiago Silva, okay, fine. Rudiger, Steve's mate, frog in a blender.
And he's gone now, Aspilletto. He's gone now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, he's gone to Atletico. Is it Atletico?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
James, the right back, but he's injury prone. N'Golo Kante didn't really play much last season for injury.
And his sister, and still when his sister steps on people. But anyway,
yeah, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that sport. We don't talk about that. No. I'm just saying because I don't want people protesting outside my house, and saying equal pay for nothing.
Wow.
Equal pay. I read somewhere yesterday that an under 15 men's team beat the American team 7-2.
Well, Arsenal's under 15s beat the women's, didn't they?
Yeah. I was just about to say that.
It's physicality, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, less about that. We'll get cancelled.
Do you want me to go off on one?
No. Good one.
I'll tell you what. Okay, I'll tell you what. Just for factual purposes here. For factual purposes, the men in the World Cup received 6% of the revenue. The women received 25% of the revenue. So the men World Cup get 6% revenue. The women,
the revenue's not small, isn't it? It's not small, is it?
Right.
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, everything should be based on the revenue that you bring in at the end of the day.
Do you know how much the women's World Cup brings?
400 million.
135. That was the last.
Oh, really?
one. Yeah.
And the other one was 6 billion, wasn't it?
Right.
Massive difference.
Fuck you, Premier. Anyway. So, where was I before Double D started winding me up? He rattled the cage there. Right, so Jorginho, who, Chilwell, injury prone, Mason Mount, Werner, and Havertz. So, out of all those players, how many of them do you think would do it?
What, they've only got one there now? One?
No, James, two fullbacks.
Three.
Yeah, three.
James, Chilwell, and Silva.
Silva, yeah.
But that's a massive turnaround. You can't turn around that quickly. And then, with all the managers had and everything, I mean, the amount of money that they've wasted on players, although they have got it back from Saudi Arabia, right?
We'll put it this way: out of all the players that were on the bench that day, only Kepa is still there. Caballero's gone, Emerson's gone, Alonso's gone, Christensen's gone, Zuma's gone, Gilmore's gone, Kovacic.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can't have a turnaround like that, massive turnaround like that. From winning that and then turning around, you got 3, 4, 5 players still at your club.
I agree, but on the flip side, Chelsea do not have European football, so one game a week. That should be, I don't know, maybe it's just Steve, you guys who are obviously involved with him.
Coach Pochettino is because he'll have all week to work with his team.
Good point.
So
there you go.
They should do well. Good coach.
Very good point.
Well, they signed the Sanchez, the goalkeeper, who are right. They signed Axel Disasi from Monaco, who I think is a pretty decent.
You're playing Champions League or European football. You're playing a Saturday. You're resting you're off on a Sunday. Go easy on the Monday, Tuesday, game Wednesday, off Thursday, rest day, Friday. You don't work on much on the weekend game, but now you'll have 5 days or 4 days all working on the match spread. So it's a big difference, that. Well, Stes will tell you that as a coach. I
totally agree. You make a brilliant point. Pochettino will really do the most coaching this year on the training pitch. The other managers who are in the Champions League have to rely on sports scientists, recoveries, and then do a load of work in the classroom with the analysis, which goes on everywhere, of course. But you presume that Pochettino will be on the training pitch 4 or 5 times a week next year. They'll be good.
Yeah. And there's also another guy that's back at Chelsea.
John Terry?
No, come on. The way I play, I play with passion. When I'm not happy, you see that I'm not happy.
Lukaku?
Yeah.
Frank Bruno.
Lukaku. Is he back at Chelsea then? Yeah. Is he staying at Chelsea?
Is he Chinese
I don't know.
still?
He's going to go.
Did you hear
I don't know. I can't do the Chinese accent.
He's going to go to Juventus, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the deal what Juventus are offering, they're saying you can have Vlahovic, but we want Lukaku and 40 million, and that's what they want, man. And I think they'll end up paying that.
Vlahovic,
Anyway, Vlahovic is a different level, man.
That guy is. I'd hate for them to get him, man. He just shoots relentlessly. He gives 2 fucks. The ball just bounces left foot, right foot. You get what I'm saying? If they get the ball into him, it could be a madness.
Well, listen, you can't complain because you've got about 15 forwards.
Yeah, great.
Jota, Diaz, Gakpo, what's his name? Salah. You got what's his name?
No, Darwin Núñez. He's looked good pre-season still. Even our teenager, the Scottish boys, Ben Doak, came on and was chopping people up today, boy. Chopping. So probably unleash him in the Europa League. But yeah, just get the midfield. We'll score goals against anyone, but if you don't score out of the defence, it's going to be more.
Well, yeah. How many goals he conceded? I've been seeing like high scores in the pre-season.
Sag, we were beaten up by Munich the other day. Then flicking for switch, we just got beaten 4-3. Just simple passes. Just simple passes in behind. You get me? But you know, but
I think that's going to be a problem for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Was the greatest central defender to ever grace the Premier League playing that day.
Please. From a Liverpool fan, I wouldn't even make my top 5 all-time Prem defenders. And so anyway, you know me anyway. I'm a hippier guy, bruv, but we won't get into that. You know what I'm saying? But that's why he's like this, because of the injury, and they've gassed him. You're standing next to Michael Owen and them there. I think you're the greatest defender of all time. I can name about 5 Italian centre backs that are better than Van Dijk. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
I love it because you see these other pods and they're going, "Oh, Saliba, he's a generational defender," and I'm thinking, he had a fucking back injury last season. He was out for like 12 games. If that back goes again, it's fucked.
Yeah, no, Saliba is good though, man. Saliba's quality.
Yeah, but I don't want to be hearing it in May people saying that.
I know. That's the problem with Arsenal fans. How do I compare Arsenal fans? If they were boxing fans, they'd be PBC fans. Sure. That's how to describe Arsenal fans. They get on everyone's nerves. That's come from the Arsenal fan as well.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah,
it's a social media cult.
Oh God, yeah. I mean,
Saj, did you see that tweet when you bought Rice? I can't remember what the guy's name is, and he said that, let me tell you how good Declan Rice is. If Prime Busquets was still on the market, then I'd still get Rice. Did you see that? It went viral.
People just talk rubbish. I mean, half of them don't know what they're talking about. It's terrible.
You love to see it, eh? Man. You love to see it.
First, football's about opinions, right? Football's
opinions are like assholes.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody got one. Wait a kind of pick a minute.
I'm just trying to think if there's any other news to discuss. Gents, is there anything else that I've missed that we can know?
No.
Who do you think is going to be the surprise team this year? Who's going to do well?
Oh, that's a good question.
Brighton will do well again.
It might just be Chelsea. If we can include them in surprise, it might just be Chelsea. Because I
still think Villa, but I don't know if they're going to be a surprise, really.
Yeah.
Pau Torres was a good buy. Villa, Diaby. Oh God, I can't believe Diaby was so cheap. But
what about Burnley? The 3 teams that have come up.
Burnley got Zeki Amdouni, and he's very good from Basel. So they could possibly, they're going to play good football. It just depends on whether or not how they handle away games against the bigger teams. Otherwise, Burnley might comfortably come about like 12th or something like that, and stay up. But they had quite a few in on loan last season, didn't they? And Matson's gone back to Chelsea, so it depends. They might have that Nottingham Forest problem when you've got all them loan people in, but Cooper kept Forest up, but we'll see. But no, I liked what I saw from Burnley last season, so we'll see. But
Luton going to be the whipping boys, or what?
I think Wolves could be the whipping boys. Looks like they're in a bit of trouble. I think the manager's going to walk away because they've not find anyone.
I heard that a couple hours ago. Gary O'Neill's went to be
Gary O'Neill's going to Wolves.
Oh, that's good. We play them Monday.
Yeah,
Our first game.
Yeah, I think Wolves could be in trouble already.
Wow.
I think Sheffield United.
Well, Lopetegui's going.
Yeah, apparently he's annoyed at the fact that all these people are just being let go. Neves, Jimenez, he's like, well, how are we supposed to grow if you're selling all these people from our starting 11? So, it's looking a bit peak for them.
Well, you mentioned Forest, but have they been active this summer? Because I know they're bringing in the goalkeeper from Arsenal, Turner.
Yeah, they've not done too much else. They tried to get Willian, but he's going Saudi.
Did you get Langer from us? Did he go Forest? Anthony Langer?
Yeah, on loan. Yeah, he's gone on loan. Anthony Langer, yeah. My son's got a season ticket there. Tells me everything about them.
Did he not bang
it last year?
Amazing.
What's that?
He's not alone, is it? They bought Langer, haven't they?
Yeah, they bought 15 mil.
Yeah, did they buy him? I thought he was on loan.
It was going to be a loan at first, and then it changed to a permanent.
It's good signing, that.
Yeah, and they've got depth there from last year. They bought a lot of players in last year. Then
too many.
Yeah,
but they got rid of some there, didn't they? I think.
Yeah, they've released Ayew and quite a few others. Lingard, yeah.
I think someone was telling me basically that they had lots of problems with agents, and this is why they refused to play a lot of players, because they weren't paying the agents towards the end of the season because they weren't sure whether they're staying up or going down. So,
Stel, ain't your mate in charge? Stel, ain't your mate in charge of Forest?
I'm not saying anything about that gentleman because I value my life and my family's life. So we'll not say anything about Mr. Marinagi. No, I shall not say anything.
Okay. No, I heard that from an agent actually. So yeah.
No. The guy that controls most of the Greek media and is best friends with the Greek Prime Minister and has allegedly been helping him out with his laundry services. Allegedly, of course.
So when you say Greek James St. Patrick, yeah.
I'm not saying anything at all. I'm not saying.
Well, who's your top four end of the season?
Top four in order or just
top four?
Yeah, order.
City four in a row. City,
top four, 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's going to finish?
City. I hate to say it, but I slightly think United. This isn't order, by the way. City will win it. United. Liverpool and Chelsea.
Huh?
Yeah, you said it. Not in order. Arsenal will not be able to handle the vigors of the Champions League. I'm fifth, yeah. You'll play pretty football against the big teams. It will be when you go to Red Star Belgrade or Dinamo Zagreb and get your asses kicked. That will be your reality check and affect your league form. No, it's tight. I think Newcastle will drop out of top four, but I don't think their fans really care for the fact they've got in Champions League this season. So yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one.
You can't disrespect Eddie Howe like that. You're going to upset Rhodri.
No. You know me, I'm a Howe guy.
Where's Graham Potter these days, anyway?
It's you lot that hate him.
He's going to Thailand.
On gardening leave, Graham.
Pot of paper.
No. Steve, what are you going for? Top four?
City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United.
Liverpool second?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've listened to quite a few pods, and a lot of the Man City people on there said they think Liverpool the only team they're seriously considering to challenge them, because they said that with them being Europa League, they're not going to play. We're not going to play our strongest team at first and whatnot. There's a lot of respect there from City fans for it. You get me? But you see, the thing is with Arsenal is that their start to the season, I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal win their opening 6 games. But when things are going smoothly, Arsenal look like arguably the best team in the league. But as soon as they get that punch in the nose, they just like.
It's a squad depth before.
Quick question, D. When have they ever looked like the best team in the league?
No, I'm saying when things are going their way, City can draw it out and pull results out, even when things aren't going their way. When things are going Arsenal's way, the short passing and whatnot, the movement, they look brilliant. But then as soon as something doesn't go their way, they just like, it's like dominoes, just completely collapse. Like,
I definitely agree. I definitely agree with what you said. Second, they look brilliant. They never look like the best team in the league.
But because the 2 games you lot had to get yourself this season showed it. Second game you blitzed them. The first game you lot didn't even really get out of second gear, but they made mistakes and you capitalised on it. And that's one thing Arsenal need to be better at: winning those games when you're not at your best, capitalising on teams' mistakes.
The two emotional. Manager and goalkeeper. They might change the goalkeeper.
That's a great word to use. Yeah,
they're too emotional.
So, by the way, you mentioned the goalkeeper, Ramsdale. Do you see that article that was published?
The Players' Tribune?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Look, I don't mean to be this guy that's insensitive, but do you think he's done that to kind of cover his back from like a PR perspective as well?
I don't know. Everyone's different, aren't they? Me personally, I probably wouldn't have said anything. Or anything about that, to be honest. But it's different.
Which one? What we talking about?
So his wife had a miscarriage, basically, and it not affected his form, but he wasn't in a great.
He also said that his brother came out as well. So
wow. Okay.
That's what I thought he was on about. I don't. That's if he wants to do that, that's fine. But the other one, that's pretty private. Does his wife? It's pretty private. But everyone likes to put stuff on Instagram and
he does. He plays golf. He plays golf with tubes. He's playing in the Premier League on the Sunday. Come on.
Do you know what I forgot to say? Do you remember the last pod that we did a couple of weeks ago, right? And I said, there's something I forgot. I remembered what it was. There's a Muller Rice advert with Declan Rice.
Awful.
You seen it, yeah?
Awful.
And
Rice, baby.
Have you lot seen? Has everyone seen this?
It's terrible.
Yeah. Right. The next time you watch it, just listen out for one of the last sound bites. You don't see the person's face, but you hear someone going, "He's the best sportsman on the planet." What? What?
This is what I mean. Arsenal bring a lot of their kind of hate on themselves by doing a lot of the PR stuff and a lot of the media.
That wasn't Arsenal. To be fair, that wasn't Arsenal. It was Muller.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, I'm just saying, just generally with the social media fans and a lot of the PR stuff, I think they do get a lot of hate because of that. When the Arsenal of old, you didn't really know anything that was going on, but I suppose they're making it more open now.
Yeah, true. So, who's your top 4 then?
Arsenal.
Okay.
Man City. Man United. Liverpool.
Okay. Rod.
Man United. Man City.
Look at the scene face.
Man United, we're really Manchester again. United City. I didn't fancy Chelsea or Arsenal. I mean, Chelsea or Liverpool. But thinking about it, they've got no European football. So yeah, I'm going to stick them in. No Arsenal.
You're still.
What do you know? What I was going to say, I was thinking about putting United top, but then I realised there's no defenders. If Martinez or Varane get injured, what happens at centre back?
Wan-Bissaka.
Like, sure.
At centre back,
Luke Shaw, baby.
Lindelof.
right? Listen, Arsenal's got 8 defenders they can choose from. United have got about 5.
Yeah, but you only have to miss the key one, and that's what they did. They missed the key one, Saliba, last year at the end of the season, and it was a big miss for him. You can get away with some, but
they can put Timber in there now because he's kind of not the same, but he's kind of
right back and White.
You can miss some players, but some players you can't. So it depends who gets injured.
We'll put it this way: if Martinez and Varane stay fit the whole season, which is unlikely, then I would say United got a big chance of winning the title. But Varane can play about 20-25 games in the league. That's all he can do. It's the unreliable. Going forward, United look immense. If you think about it,
there's still a centre midfield with a combined age of 70.
What with
Casemiro and Eriksen?
Yeah, okay, but
70.
they're not gonna play every week together. If Amarabat comes in, and you got Mason Mount can play centre mid, which he did in the.
It looked like before he was injured that Manu was going to play a big part this season as well. He's only 18.
And that's going to win the Premier League.
No.
Well, no, but when you're playing,
that's what you said, right?
Well, it's the end of the transfer window, and the players are going to go out, and you would think that would bring someone else in.
Rodri's moonwalking.
Can we get a nurse on this show?
Kid from Florentina. No, so you never know, do you?
Crazy.
I'm telling you.
Well, look, for me, if Varane and Martinez stay fit,
I
think they've got a chance. But that's what I'm saying. If they stay fit, there's a chance. But
we don't want hypotheticals.
Varane, I don't think is highly likely, but Martinez didn't seem to be. He had an unlucky injury at the end of the season. What was it, metatarsal? So you would think.
But going back to Varane, if he does get injured, which is probably likely, can you trust any one of the options that are there to come in?
Haven't you got Johnny Evans?
Have you not forgot we've got Johnny Evans in? We've got Johnny Evans in.
But he was only there for 2 games. He hasn't signed a contract. He was only there for 2 games.
He played today or yesterday, didn't he?
No.
Did he play in Dublin yesterday or something?
Did he? I don't know.
He'll end up playing 20 games.
Yeah.
No, he can't stay in. If Maguire goes, you'd think they would bring someone else in. They can't rely on Johnny Evans. He's fucking shit. He's been relegated. Leicester. I'll quote Gary Neville. This is Manchester United.
There's this fellow.
Sounded like him then.
There's a fellow on Goldbridge's show, the United Stand, and I saw a clip the other day where he goes, Johnny Evans is United's best defender.
He's not.
Don't laugh too hard. Remember when someone said Smalling was better than Maguire? When they just signed Maguire?
It was the same guy.
What was it?
It was the same guy.
He was terrible before he went, and he's terrible when he's back here now. Bad. Never liked him. Bad defender. Average, I bet.
Well, look, Phil Jones has gone, so I don't know what's happening. Finally. Well,
top 4 still?
Didn't get okay. Top 4.
Yeah, we're still on that topic.
Stel's got Villa in his top 4.
No, I haven't. Behave yourself. Behave yourself. Fucking hell. I think it's going to be the same as last season.
Oh, thanks.
I think it's the same as last season. I think it's the same as last season. Well, look, Liverpool can score.
Oh, no, I'm joking. As it stands, because I'm just expecting we're going to do business. As it stands, the midfield will cost us top 4.
Yeah.
If we do the business, top 4. If not, Arsenal.
And the other top 4 would be Apoel, Larnaca.
Fuck off.
What?
Yeah.
There is no Apoel not winning the title this season.
Yeah,
not going to happen.
They'll win it. No drama.
They win it every year.
Rodri is the original Monia killer, you know.
No, they're not going to win it. I'm telling you. There's no chance.
Great Apoel will be back this year.
They're not. They might not even be in existence by the end of the year, mate. I'm just saying. So anyway,
Lineker looks strong though. Looks strong in the. They might come on.
it's Buffalo you need to worry about if they bring in Sergio Ramos.
Lineker.
Yeah. Anyway, right, gentlemen. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you everyone for listening. Sorry if I offended you lot. Who gives a shit? Fuck off. Anyway, speak soon.